Sanibonani bafundi, welcome to yet another lesson for isiZulu. Today we are going to talk about parts of speech. Izingcezu zenkulumo. We are talking about parts of speech in isiZulu. Okay, sizoqala ke sikhulume ngosobizo. The first part of speech in isiZulu is usobizo. Usobizo is the subject or object of a sentence functioning as a noun. Okay? So, in usobizo, we have ibizo, which is a noun, and we have isabizwana, which is a pronoun. Here are the examples. Umfana is a noun. Umfana udlala ibhola. So in that sentence, we've got two nouns. We have umfana and we have ibhola. But we are focusing on umfana because that's the noun that I chose. If I don't want to say umfana, which is the boy, I will then use a pronoun which is yena. So the first sentence is umfana udlala ibhola. The boy is playing a ball. Now I want to remove the boy. I would say yena udlala ibhola. Let's just say I was maybe using ibhola as the noun that I wanted to change to a pronoun. Then I would say the first sentence would be umfana udlala ibhola, which is the same sentence. But here I would say umfana udlala lona. If I were to change the word ibhola or the noun ibhola to a pronoun, then I would change it to lona. The second one is isitulo siphukile. Isitulo is a chair. The chair has broken. Sona siphukile. It has broken. Abafundi bayabhala. Scholars are writing. Bona bayabhala. They are writing. Then we move on to the second part of speech. Isichasiso. Isichasiso is a descriptive word. Under isichasiso, we have isiphawulo, which is an adjective. We have isibaluli, which is a relative adjective. Then we will look at the other two after this slide. So isiphawulo is an adjective. Isibaluli is a relative adjective. There is a video that explains more about isiphawulo and isibaluli. However, the example of isiphawulo, ikati elikhulu lilele. A big cat is sleeping. Elikhulu, big. Umfana oqotho uyalalela. A wise boy listens. Umfana oqotho uyalalela. Oqotho, wise. Isibaluli focuses more on color and manner. It's still an adjective, but it focuses on color and manner, which is why I then call it relative adjective. Ibhola elimnyama lilahlekile. A black ball is lost. Ukudla kwami kumnandi. My food tastes nice. Then we move on to other parts of isichasiso okungu ongumnini nenani. We are still looking at isichasiso, descriptive words, but we are looking at other branches of it. Isichasiso has 4 branches. We have mentioned the 2, which is isiphawulo and isibaluli. Now we are looking at ongumnini. Ongumnini is possessives. So we are showing who owns what in a sentence. Ikati likagogo lihle. Gogo's cat is beautiful, or grandma's cat is beautiful or pretty. Or you can say ingubo kaThandi imnyama. Uh, Thandi's dress is black. We are showing ownership. Who does the cat belong to? It belongs to Gogo. It belongs to grandma. Whose dress is it? It's Thandi's dress. Then inani is quantity. So wherever we are trying to describe quantity, we use inani. Ngibone abafana abathathu. I saw three boys. That three is quantity, inani. Ngineminyaka eyishumi nanhlanu. I am 15 years old. That 15 years eyishumi nanhlanu is inani. It's quantity. Then we move on to another part of izingcezu zenkulumo, parts of speech, which is isilandiso. In isilandiso is translated the predicate in English. So it's a part of the sentence containing the verb or the copulative that describes the action of the subject. Then we said it's a part of a sentence that contains the verb or the copulative. So those are the two parts, the two branches of isilandis. We have isenzo, the verb, a copulative, isibanjalo. Isenzo, it's the doing word. Isibanjalo, it is that prefix that you put that puts emphasis on the subject. It puts emphasis on the subject. Okay. Ipleti, ipleti liwile. A plate has fallen. Liwile is your verb. Isenzo. Isibanjalo, I do not want to say ipuleti, but I do want to put emphasis on the plate. Then I would say yipuleti eliwile. It is the plate that fell. USizwe uvukile uma ezwa umsindo. Sizwe woke up when he heard a noise. NguSizwe ovukile uma ezwa umsindo. It is Sizwe, or it was Sizwe who woke up when he heard a noise. Then there is another part of speech which is isikhanyiso. Isikhanyiso also has two branches which are isandiso and isenzukuthi. Isikhanyiso, if directly translated, it is light or source of light. So the function of isikhanyiso, it enlightens us about how the predicate was done. Remember, the predicate is isilandiso. It's a part of sentence containing the verb or the copulative. So now it explains more of it explains more on how the verb was done. Okay. Isilandiso ichazela kabanzi ngokuthi isilandiso senzeke kanjani. So there we have isandiso, an adverb, and isenzikuthi, which is an onomatopoeia or idiophone. An onomatopoeia or idiophone is used to emphasize action. Alright, isandiso, ipleti liwile ekuseni. A plate fell in the morning. So that one, isandiso, enlightens us about how the verb was done or when. Or in isandiso, it describes the when, and the where, and the how. So ipleti liwile ekuseni. The plate fell in the morning. That answers the question when. uSizwe uvukile uma ezwa umsindo ekhishini. Sizwe woke up when he heard the noise in the kitchen. Ekhishini, it answers the question where. Then isenzukuthi answers the question how. Okay. Ipleti liwe lathi phahla. That's how the plate fell. The plate fell and it went phahla. That's the sound that the plate made when it fell. uSizwe uvuke wathi gubhubhu uma ezwa umsindo. Now we are explaining how Sizwe woke up, and he woke up so fast it was like gubhubhu uma ezwa umsindo when he heard the noise. So isenza ukuthi it gives us the sound, or it tells us more of how it happened. For example, I heard the gunshots going bam bam in the morning. That bam bam is an onomatopoeia or an idiophone. Then we have isihlanganiso, which is adjectives. We are conjunctions. I'm making a mistake. So isihlanganiso is conjunction. It is when we are putting two sentences together. It's a word that joins sentences together. Example, we've got sentences there. Imisho angiyi esikoleni. I'm not going to school. Ngilimele. I'm hurt. Now we want to put those two sentences together. We will say angiyi esikoleni ngoba ngilimele. I'm not going to school because I'm hurt. Uzama uthi akanamali. Zama says she doesn't have money. Uyasebenza, she works. Now we want to put those sentences together. Uzama uthi akanamali. Zama says she doesn't have money. Kodwa uyasebenza, but she works. Then we have isibabazo, which is an exaggeration or a hyperbole. So, you are just exaggerating or sort of putting emphasis on what is happening. A normal sentence would say, Nanzi inyoka. Here is a snake. Or there is a snake. But then if we want to put isibabazo, it's not isihlanganiso, it's isibabazo. I made a mistake. We would say, Maya babo. Oh my. Nansi inyoka. There's a snake. Or here is a snake. All right? Ukhuluma nobani kanjalo. Who are you talking to like that? Most of you would relate when you are being rude to your parent. The parent will be like, who are you talking to like that? Are you talking to me like that? Okay, so if your mom or your dad was just calm, they would just say, ukhuluma nobani kanjalo. Who are you talking to like that? But then if they were upset and now they were exaggerating, they would say, Haibo, ukhuluma nobani kanjalo. Haibo, who are you talking to like that? All right? So that is isibabaz. And then sometimes you would put isibabazo at the end of a normal sentence. Like, for example, Nanti inyoga, and then you put an exclamation there at the end. Then it changes how you read it when you are reading it. So if I was reading it with a full stop, I would say Nanti inyoga in a normal way. But if there was an exclamation at the end, then it would be Nanti inyoga. Okay? So it's exaggerated when there is an exclamation mark. All right, that's where we stopped today. I hope you understood everything that we have discussed. Salani kahle, bafundi.